Actually, I had this mute. What's up, guys? Midnight here. Welcome back to a video. So today, I'm coming with you with a story that I really think you should like. Sorry if you couldn't hear me in the beginning. I had my thing muted. If you guys have never heard about this game called Deadly Nights, please check it out. It's a really good game on Steam. It's like, I'd say like $9, I believe. I don't know how much it costs. It's on Steam. It's really good, but I want to talk about this game. I haven't played it yet, so I'm like waiting on my birthday to get the game. But I want to talk about Jazzy Olivers and his role as Mr. Shiny. Guys, this character is based around a real predator. A real guy who kidnapped women and fucked them endlessly. Like, sexually said some shit to them, locked them in his basement or his room or, the back of his motel room, his little office. And he had pornos of every single clients that entered his motel, the ones that were sleeping in his motel, and actually was viewing it. Now, getting into the story behind Deadly Nights, it's based around a real serial killer and a real story around it. It's kind of obvious because you guys will not know this. It was all over CBS, the news, it was all over Fox 8, uh, every little channel in America and across the ocean or across the seas. It has been known to be a game related to a real ass crime, and I believe Steam didn't realize that, so they just put a game based around it. But the character Mr. Shiny, actually, there is a guy named Mr. Shiny, and he was an astounding man. He killed his wife and three kids, and killed his maid, his butler, his family, and his parents, and not to forget his siblings. Not to mention, after that happened, he went on the run and, started a business. He worked at the motel. He became the manager. He owns the motel now, and no one was there except for him. And, next thing you know, clients come in, clients come out, and he gives them his room key and then secretly recording them in the big mirror. Now, this is like back in the 90s this happened, so this is a 90s related ideal game, I guess. But Mr. Shiny is in prison, and actually, Mr. Shiny died IRL wise, which is kind of obvious because he's actually 85, if you didn't know that. So, the game is based around the real serial killer and a predator who raped innocent victims back in the day when, let's say, 1995, and, allegedly kidnapped let's say, a 19-year-old who was prostituting herself. Her name goes by Carol, and her real friend's name is Susan. Kind of obvious this game is based around an actual fucking crime. And I kind of was like, let me like check this out myself and watch Eddie VR and Dashi and Corey X Kenshin play it and other YouTubers like Dante DM play it, and I was like, let me just watch this and see what people do and see how people's reaction are to the sexual content type video game that is based around a real sexual crime. So I'm gonna say this as a person that almost became a rape victim, and I believe I am a rape victim because I got raped a bunch of times by men, and this is actually in my 20s now. And when I was a young girl, I was a rape victim, and I was 16, and I met a guy up in Alabama who was a little bit older than me, and he was not even my color. And I'm not racist. I just like how the fact I say he's not my color. He was black. But this game is so based around the pedophilia, the pedophiles, and the predators and the who are sex offenders. And then you're like looking at this game and you're hearing the commentary and you're hearing the words coming out of Shiny's mouth that he wants to fuck that sweet hairy blank down below to Carol. Next thing you know, motels are always used for sex. So let's not get into detail why motels are always used to for fucking, because that's what motels are for. And if you don't stay in the motel for long and you just come out, it's totally normal. Now, obviously, motels are used for having sex or staying. Depends on which one you want to do first, stay or fuck. But this game was based around sex. It was based around Shiny trying to take advantage of women in hotel rooms. So basically, if you don't know this, women love to be taken advantage of, but considering how this game is based around not being taken advantage of, there has consequences to it, especially getting killed by a serial killer who is not Mr. Shiny after all. The game is so gruesome, very sexual, dirty minded that I had to watch Eddie VR play it and know exactly what I'm going to be dealing with when I actually get it for my birthday. So it's on my wish list on Steam. I got a few wish lists on Steam. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put it in my description. I will redo this and put my Steam wish list up because I really, really hope some of you guys can get me these games because these games are like my wish list babies. And the only wish list I got that I want in real life from my family is a Oculus. So that's my wish list for my family for my 23rd birthday. But I know for a fact I'm getting my aromatherapy from Amazon. That's $15.95 from my grandma, which is on Amazon. That's also my birthday wish list. But I will be putting my birthday wish list down below. I don't think you guys want to see my wish list, but I just want to let you guys know my birthday is at hand. I'll be 23. If anybody wants to send me PO, I will fucking make a PO box. Because I really, really wish, like, I have some things that I really want for my birthday, and I'm a cosplayer, and I've never gotten cosplay costumes from Amazon, from anyone that loves cosplay as much as I do. I've been dying to have cosplay costumes and items for cosplay, and it's kind of my thing. But back at Deadly Nights, I love the voice of Mr. Shiny. Jazzy Olivers is such a good man, or such a good guy, if I have to say that. He's not a man, he's a guy. He's in his 20s, so he's a guy. I kind of figured, like, I was, like, kind of figuring he was, like, in his 30s or whatever, but he's, like, I'd say maybe, like, 3 years older than me, two, I don't know. I don't know what he does for a living. I just know he voice acts and he's got like these things going. He does make videos on YouTube, which is kind of cool and amazing. I am also kind of dozy and dizzy and tired, so you guys will see most of me not focusing on my camera because I'm so tired. I haven't even that, obviously. But the game is so sexual and very tended to be for like mature audience. Like if you're a child and you don't want to hear those words, scroll because the words are for adults and some kids can see that and some kids actually do play Deadly Nights, but they don't know exactly what they're getting into. That's like a red flag, and especially if you're a parent. By the way, parents, do not let your kids play games like Phasmophobia, The Mortuary Assistant, Deadly Nights, Subnautica, Subnautica Below Zero, Stranded Deep, any of those games like Raft, The Forest, Grounded, anything that has curse words in it or sexual stuff or like phobias. Like if you have a phobia of water, don't let your kids play it because some of these games are based around your fears and your fears of being raped. Because there is a fear for being raped. That's a fear, and fear of the water and fear of the unknown. Basically, fear of the woods, fear of the dark, uh, fear of falling, and fear of the ocean or fear of sharks. Whatever you want to call it, being stranded and all. It's a lot, and especially being in the ocean alone, like Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero, which is a oceanic game based around being left in the ocean, and you don't have to worry about the shark. You don't have to worry about sharks, but you gotta worry about leviathans, which is kind of obvious because you are living in the ocean and you're swimming in the ocean. But there's also like mindful quests. So mindful quests, like doing all of this, finding the distress signal, to going to Altera, to the Delta Station, to finding the greenhouse, trying to communicate with Altera and trying to get back home is the priority and finding your way back home. Now, I'm not going to lie, these games are so realistic, It's based around like so many stories. Basically, like your Subnautica is a fucking good game. Then Deadly Nights is based around a true crime. The Mortuary Assistant is based around a true paranormal event. The Phasmophobia is based around true paranormal event. Kind of obvious because some people ended up in the hospital because of the Mortuary Assistant and Phasmophobia. And then some people ended up in a medical ward for the game. What was it? The game Deadly Nights. Because some people say women and men went insane mode and tried to kill themselves in a medical ward. I don't know how that's possible, but things happen. But these games are so amazing. It's like outstanding, but Deadly Nights can actually it's a fear of being raped and a fear of being into a sex slave. It's kind of obvious. You have your fear of oceans. Stranded Deep is based around sharks and, bosses and the ocean. And then you can actually swim in the ocean, but you gotta watch out for sharks. Based around survival for the fullest. And Raft is based around just staying on a raft and trying to find supplies that's in the water. You cannot be in the water because there's an actual shark that will kill you. Unless you want to fucking grab the equipment that you need to kill the shark, that's possible. Because then again, the shark will not come back until it respawns. Now there's islands in Raft, which is kind of like Stranded Deep because you gotta make sure that you are not being followed by a shark and you are safe and that there is a clear, safe point to get on an island and get back to your raft. Grounded and the forest are two different separate things. The forest is based around your fear of the darkness and fear of the unknown. Basically, there are wild things that go on in there and like humans, based like human life, human life. Cannibalistic humans that want to eat you. That's what the forest is all about. It's the fear of cannibals. Basically, the fear of being eaten by humans and zombies. That too. Now, grounded, I don't remember. It's the fear of heights, fear of falling. I don't remember. Uh, and then Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero is the fear of the ocean. So that's thalassophobia. Basically, the fear of being in the water and being near aquatic creatures. As were Deadly Nights is the fear of rape and fear of everything. It's a story. And I don't know why I'm talking about all these games, but these are all fears that you can have because it's the fears and it's like a phobia that you cannot fucking like there's some fears and phobias out there. Now phasmophobia is actually a phobia. That's phasmophobia for you because phasmophobia is actually based around an actual phobia. That's why they name it phasmophobia. The mortuary assistant is fear of fear of demons. Fear of demons, I guess. Fear of demons. Fear of dying. Fear of dark. Fear of darkness. Fear of dying. Fear of the fear of demons. Tons of stuff that you can think about. And satanic shit, basically. The fear of the devil. Where you can't sleep and you are scared that the devil is near. Or there's demons and ghosts. So that's also a thing. Phasmophobia is the fear of ghosts. Fear of ghosts. There's ghosts in the game. And the fear of dying. That too. There's tons of games out there that are related with your phobias. Phasmophobia is actually a phobia. So they made a game based around a phobia. I'm going to show you guys what does phasmophobia mean because I want you guys to know that it's a real phobia and shouldn't be taken lightly. Yep. Phasmophobia is a fear of ghosts. Fear of ghosts. I was right. Phasmophobia is a paranormal horror game developed and published. It's a fear of ghosts, they said. Based around your real phobia. see. A persistent fear of ghosts is sometimes called phasmophobia, a type of specific phobia. And you guys can see why they named the game Phasmophobia. I'm going to show you guys the fear of demons. There is this thing called demon phobia. Is the fear of demons and may be due to growing up in a religious household. What is botanphobia? Botanophobia is an intense fear of plants. Now, the forest has plants involved, and so does grounded, and I think Subnautica does as well. So there's fear of plants. There's plants that can actually kill you in the beginning. So fear of plants. If you got a fear of plants, don't play games that have plants involved because that can scare you. The scariest phobias you could think of. Acrophobia, which is probably only up. Acrophobia is the fear of heights. So if you're like scared of going up, and only up is not your type of game. Open or close. Alright. This is horrible. It's a long word, but it's a phobia. It's hippopotomonstrosis. Oh wait, hippopotomonstrosis. Fear of long words. I have that. I don't know my long words. I don't like. I mean, I like vegetables. Come on. Traumatophobia, a morbid fear of battle or physical injury. Frigophobia. Like pregnancy, basically. But yeah, I just wanted